All right, we're good. All right, guys, what's up? Dean Perrone here, back again with the Fast Five, another episode. And joining me today, none other than Guy Cisternino, seven-time IFBB Pro champ, two-time New York Pro champ, right?
Yeah.
Two-time, and then obviously multiple Olympia competitors. So first and foremost, thank you again, man, for taking the time to come on here. Greatly appreciate it. So I know you're super busy, obviously, as we were just talking.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I'm just going to jump into it and get going because I have some questions. Again, don't want to keep you too long.
Good, bro.
This is a good question again, because I know, again, I watched Bro Chat earlier today, and you guys kind of were talking a little bit about this and just influencers and people starting out in the industry and stuff like that. This question is from Kyle Getzinger. He asked what you think are the pros and cons, I guess, of social media in the fitness industry. It's kind of a two-part question, but what are the pros and cons you see of social media in the fitness industry? And then do you think that and he puts, quote, influencers today are taking some of the attention and recognition from, like the old school hardcore pro bodybuilders like yourself?
I mean, to say they take away from what I do would be silly because they're not like hardcore bodybuilders.
Yeah.
So, like that to me, when they're like, "Oh, no, do you think they take away from?" No, because if you're following them, then that's your fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not really in the same.
Yeah, like
yeah,
you get to pick and choose who you follow. So, like, listen, they have their place. They make a lot of money. Like, God bless them. But do I think pros and cons of social media? You get a lot of like right now organic content from people that are doing stuff in the moment, and you don't have to wait for results. You don't have to wait to see updates in magazines that are 3 months behind, and it makes people feel like they're actually more attached to the competitors or the athletes. Whereas back when we didn't have social media, you had magazines. So when a show happened, unless you knew somebody who was there or word of mouth trickled down, you got to wait till the magazine comes out to even know who won what shows. So there are pros and cons of social media. I'm not a big social media guy, like meaning I do it because I have to because of what I do. But if it was up to me, I would be off social media because it's getting to the point where privacy is becoming like a luxury because we don't have much of it anymore. So if I was in the position that I was in, I'd be ghost off social media.
Yeah, and I guess too, another thing and you as much as anybody, is just the bullshit that can happen as well, I guess. As far as part of the cons, you got a bunch of keyboard warriors.
I tell people, if you don't have thick skin, you shouldn't be on. If you don't have thick skin and you have like a low self-esteem, you should not be on social media.
Yeah, it's especially, it seems like on YouTube. I don't know what's worse, YouTube or Instagram, like the comments. But yeah, I mean, you're gonna get it everywhere, I guess. But yeah, so that answers that, I guess. Another question here, Red Hulk Juice. He said, at what point in your life / career do you think was your most successful? And then he put, who or what do you think was your hardest competition?
2015 and 16 were my best years, I would say.
And that was New York Pro wins, right? You won back to back?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I thought
those were my best years. Because 17 I got those burns, and then 18 I got shoulder surgery, and then shit just it was like a rabbit hole.
I remember the burns too. I remember that.
So I would say 15 and 16 were definitely my best years, my peak years. As far as who was my hardest competition, I never beat Flex. So to say he was a competition would be somebody that I beat and like went back and forth with. I would have to say David Henry and Jose Raymond.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask about Jose.
I beat both of them. They beat both of me. So every time I was in a show with one of them, it was always like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah. But you guys were all pretty tight though too, right? Yeah. So
I mean, I'm really tight with Jose, and me and David are pretty fucking tight. So, when you lose to friends, it makes it a little less uh, sour.
Yeah, somewhat bittersweet, I guess, right? And the shoulder, what did you, I know, because I've had shoulder surgery actually on both as well. They're torn labrums. Is that what you had also? Or
I had a torn labrum in this shoulder that I got repaired in 2008.
okay.
But then I had a tenodesis procedure in both of them, which is where they cut your bicep tendon away from the labrum and reattach it into your humerus.
Yeah, and those you had pretty much, you had those like back to back, didn't you?
5 weeks apart.
Yeah, okay. So I thought, yeah, there's
I got down to 193 pounds.
that what you got down to? Yeah, it was I had one, mine was in 2009, my first one, and then my second one I think was like I did the other shoulder I think in like 2013. But recovered, I actually have I had a torn labrum in my hip as well and had surgery on that. And the hip was actually easier to come back from than the shoulder.
Shoulders suck.
Yeah, because it controls. I was terrified of the hip, and it was actually an easier process to come back from the shoulder.
Huh.
All right, here, Ted Watts. He said, Guy, along with Seth Feroce, have been two huge influences on both my workouts and my life. I refuse to be outworked in the gym thanks to Guy. He said, any advice you have for a 58-year-old working towards trying to compete for the first time? And then he threw in there, he said, how old are the Under Armour shoes that you have? Sorry, I couldn't resist throwing that in there.
Oh, dude, I got these fucking Under Armour shoes. I wear them all the time.
Yeah.
I get DMs at least 50 to 100 every time I fucking post a video with these shoes. People ask me, and I'm like, guys, they have not made these shoes in over 10 years. Stop asking me because it doesn't even matter what the name is. I'm like, there's like very slim pickings on eBay if you get lucky to even find them. But people ask me every single time.
Yeah, the only two people I've seen wear those are you and Sean Roden.
Yeah.
You got them too.
I know Sean Claridia has a couple pairs. Brandon Ray used to rock them. Who else? I think there might be one or two other guys, but not that many.
Yeah.
And what was the other part of the question?
So he just said how big of an influence you were on his life, but he said any advice you have for a 58-year-old, working towards competing.
I mean, it's hard to give somebody advice who's older than me because I don't know what it's like to be. I never was at that rodeo yet at 58, but I mean, I approach everything at 39 the same way I did when I was 26. I just when I walk into the gym, I'm there to train. I'm not there to talk. I'm there to do a job. Whether it was a hobby when I was an amateur or whether it's my career now that I turned pro. I don't think. Listen, do I think at some point you got to kind of be like a little realistic with, there's guys, competing at like 7 years old. And I'm like, you're, what are you doing? Like just get in shape, and just call it a day. But I think at 58, if it's a goal, I think it's definitely attainable. And I think at 58 years old, I don't think you're too old to where if you did a show and cut down, I think you'd still have a decent amount of muscle mass and muscle maturity on you that you'd actually be pretty damn good. Depending upon what you look like. I don't know,
Yeah, that's what I mean. The first I've done men's physique, but I've competed 6 times, and the first time I stepped on stage, I was 39. So, and for me, it was more of like a bucket list thing to do, and then obviously I got the itch a little bit, and then kept competing. But yeah, I say if it's the same thing, it's a bucket list for the guy or something. Just like you said, get in shape and give it a go. All right, this is from One Winged King. He said, what was the most intense prep that you've had to this day, out of all the shows you've done?
2007, getting ready for nationals when I took second to Jose Raymond.
What year, and you turned pro when? 2008, right? Okay.
Yeah, I was 220 pounds in the off season, and I had to weigh 176 and a quarter. and I was doing 75 minutes of cardio twice a day, along with training and working a full-time job. I was fucking, you want to talk about a miserable, cranky, angry, like snapping at every motherfucker that walks in your path. And my mom would breathe the wrong way. I'd fucking scream. I was a maniac.
Yeah, I bet.
Maniac.
Yeah, it's funny hearing you say that too. Like, because you have people, especially nowadays. I think. Well,
I'm
you
not
too.
like that now. I'm not. I can take the hunger and this. My mental game is way stronger the older I gotten. But yeah, back then not so much.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, even just hearing you do card, like, see, you to me are like still one of the old school kind of body, like you and Branch Warren, like those guys. You still come to me as like one of the old school mentality, just hardcore bodybuilder, not in there fucking around, just doing your shit. Where again, going back to social media, I think has changed a lot of that because a lot of it is for video and so on. So
Train for the camera.
yeah, and it's like today everybody whines and bitches about cardio, and then to hear you talking about doing 75 minutes twice a day.
Suck.
Yeah, I mean,
Suck.
a lot of people today I don't think have that mentality at all to do something like that.
I think back and I go, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I did that because that's crazy.
Yeah, I bet you thinking back of how many times you've competed, you think a lot of times how the fuck you used to do some of the shit you used to do. I imagine.
Mind boggling. Mind boggling.
This is a good question, and I know you've recently switched up your training. I think on one of your Instagram lives, I even asked you about how you're liking the push pull legs and stuff. So this question kind of goes into that. This is from the Acceptable Asshole. He said, do you prefer a more balls to the wall, heavyweight, intense workout, or do you see and like more results now that you've kind of throttled it? It seems like you've throttled it back a little bit under the guidance of John Meadows.
See, it's weird because it's kind of like controlled chaos what John has me do because I'm still handling pretty much the same fucking weights that I used to handle back when I was doing kind of like the pro split, but I just control them a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I think John incorporates a lot of exercises and works a lot of muscles that I normally didn't work and a lot of stabilization muscles that I never used. And I think now that I've done a lot of those different exercises, the way I control the weight is a lot different, but I'm still able to, use heavy weight. Like, he still has me do incline dumbbell press, flat barbell press, barbell squat, like the other day, a couple weeks ago, I was doing my top set for 4 sets of 8 to 10 with 500 pounds on squats. Like I still go heavy,
Yeah. Well, that's what, even when I read the question earlier today, that was kind of obviously going to let you answer, but that was my thought is you probably haven't, the way it's worded, you probably haven't scaled it back. It's just, I know you've switched the actual training itself to more from a pro split to a push pull legs though.
Yeah, my intensity is always going to be that in the gym. That's never going to change.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And you are a fan. You said you like the push pull legs a lot.
Yeah, push pull legs, and then this week up until my show, he's got me doing. I think I'll read it to you because I forget it because he just it's chest, shoulders, legs off, back, chest, shoulders, arms off. So it's a 1-2. It's a 5-day split.
Okay.
Which I was doing a 5-day split anyway, but now I'm doing instead of doing chest, shoulders, triceps, which is what I was doing for push day, I'm doing a separate arm day, which I wasn't doing for the past 9 weeks, 10 weeks.
And you're 8 days out, 9, right? About?
What's today?
What's today? Today's the 17th. 10 days out. Okay.
Yeah, I can no. Well, it's the 27th.
Well, so yeah, about 10 days.
Yeah, 10th, right? Yeah, 17th. Yeah.
So that again, I don't know how many, obviously I'll probably post this tomorrow so people will see this. That's another thing. A lot of people may not even know you're prepping for a show and you're 10 days out. So again, thank you for taking the time to come on here because I know a lot of people get tunnel vision and want no distractions or anything. So I
was outside cutting the grass for 5 hours today.
All right, this one's from John Wilson. He said, are there days that you just say you don't want to do it today? Days that you don't want to do anything? And if you do get those, how do you overcome that?
I hate days where I have nothing to do because I feel like I'm wasting a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like when I get older and I'm retired, I'll have a lot of days to kill time and waste. And if I don't make it to then at least I utilize the days that I did have and didn't fucking waste them doing nothing. You know, like I'm a realist. Like, you know, I'm in a sport that might not be the healthiest. You know, I've had a lot of friends pass away. You know, I've had a million not health issues as far as like, you know, heart, kidney, lungs, whatever. Like I'm healthy as far as that goes, but I've had strings of bad luck. So it's like, why waste a day? Are there days I don't want to go to the fucking gym? Yeah. But every day or whenever it's one of those days where I don't want to go to the gym, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I fucking would give anything to not go to the gym. But then there's that little fucking part of my brain that's like, but you know, if you go, you're gonna have the best fucking workout because that's just how it fucking goes. You know? So I don't I'm a big believer as far like I've said it before, like I'll kind of, you know, I'll rest when I'm dead type of attitude. If I'm awake and living, I'm gonna get shit done.
Yeah, and you've been in this so long. I mean, I'm sure you have the discipline to just get shit done regardless.
Yeah,
No matter how you feel, you know, you're gonna go get it done.
Like people are like, well, why do you you know, you can afford to have people come and mow your yard and do your mulch and this and that. Why do you do it? And I'm like, just because you're getting ready for your bodybuilding show doesn't mean you stop being a man. Like, you know, like I own a fucking house. Like I have responsibilities. Like that doesn't mean I don't get to like maintain my responsibilities because I'm prepping for a show. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Sometimes that shit's therapeutic too, man. You might, you know what I mean? It gets you.
I love going outside and cutting my grass. I really listen. It sucks. I'm like today, my back was killing me on the fucking mower. I'm like, oh, this sucks. But I enjoy it. You know, outside, no phone.
Yeah. What do you? How much do you live on, like acreage wise?
Just about 2.5.
You know, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen the yard looks pretty good. Cool. Are you good for a couple more?
Yeah.
Okay. I know there was one in here that actually asked you or something about your shoulder surgeries. I was trying to find that. Oh, here, this is it right here. It said, at what point, as in weeks, were you back to kind of pushing yourself to growing again, post shoulder surgeries, I guess. So I guess, you know, after the shoulder surgeries, how many weeks after were you kind of back in there pushing weight?
Well, I was back in the gym. So from the time I got the first one done, then there was a 5-week gap to this one. Then it was 8 weeks. So I was out of the gym for 17. I was back in the gym 17 weeks from the day I got the first one done.
Okay. Yeah, that should.
I was in the gym for 2 weeks. I gained almost 20 pounds.
What's that?
I was in the gym for 2 weeks. I almost gained 20 pounds.
Almost.
just from training and eating an extra 2 meals a day.
Yeah, that's insane. Here's kind of a funny one because I think it's like the social media perception. It said, why does Guy think he seems so aggressive to other people when I think he's just being honest and straightforward? But I'll let you answer.
I can't answer that.
But I'll answer it, I guess, because I mean, I think you're just, like I said, I think you're very just straightforward. And I think it's today's society, though, also that everybody's offended by everything or everybody takes everything serious. Where I mean, I appreciate guys like you because I think it's just you're more, especially on social media, you seem to be real and authentic and transparent, and you just
but my thing is I don't ever think I'm disrespectful.
No.
You know? And that's what drives me crazy is the amount of disrespect that sometimes I get, and I'm like, man, you guys think I'm the bad one.
Yeah.
Your parents need talking to.
Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's the society in general where everybody's offended by everything. Somebody asked about the pig shirts, Jay Cutler's pig shirts, which I actually have a couple myself, but somebody asked what is the actual meaning of those?
Sworn to secrecy.
The guy asked it and I'm like, I don't even know the true meaning. I said, I have a couple myself.
unless it gets leaked by somebody else, I am not saying it because I'm not going to be the one to go down in that fire.
That's fine. I respect that. Greatest hunting memory that you may have? I know you go hunting a lot with your dad and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I mean every trip I go on with my dad's fun.
Yeah.
You know? And my first deer I got was with my dad. You know, that's probably the best memory I had with my dad. And then, you know, us like in the bodybuilding world, you know, going boar hunting with Branch is fucking awesome. So yeah, I've done a lot of hunting.
There was
I would say the first deer with my dad is probably up there as number one.
Yeah, best memory. I was trying to find I don't know, because I had some questions on Facebook too. So I know somebody had asked just what it was like growing up for you in a house where because your dad's has he always been like a butcher?
Yeah, he butcher, and he was a butcher in a supermarket, and then after he started doing something else, he ended up buying like a lot of the equipment, and he turned my parents or their 2-car garage into a butcher shop.
Okay, yeah.
So he continued to butcher on the side every year during deer season.
Yeah, because I've seen some of the videos. That should be it, man. Here's another one just for you, I guess. What is the most rewarding part of bodybuilding? And it's kind of a broad question because I'm sure there's lots of things that you enjoy about it. But I guess if you had to kind of pick one or two, what would be the most rewarding things for you?
Honestly, the most rewarding thing for me is the fact that I get to do something that everybody has the choice to do, but a lot of people, even when they choose to do it, can't.
Yeah,
it's very hard to do it. It's a self-induced torture. You know, there's a lot of shit in life that's hard, but doing something like this where you like there's nobody holding a gun to your head to fucking telling you, don't eat that, eat this, do that, do this. Like it's very this is one of the most mentally challenging things I think somebody can do in their life, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I agree. And again,
I'm not comparing it to like SEAL trainings before anybody like flies off the fucking deep end at me. Relax.
No, I agree with you. And again, I'm literally
I'm talking about something like self-induced that like there's nobody, like if you're talking about military training, that's different. Like you got somebody screaming at you, yelling. This is different. This is like you're in your head the entire fucking time. Like the entire time from fucking day one of prep till the last day, you're in your head. Fighting fucking demons every day.
And the diets, though, I mean, again, like I've just competed 6 times NPC, men's physique stuff, and it's like even for that, dieting to me is the hardest thing, and mental, obviously, like the working out and the cardio, most of the time you enjoy or you like getting in there, but having that mental toughness for the diet, because I'm just, I'm a fucking eater at heart, so.
Yeah, I never had a big appetite, and it got worse as I got older, and now it's like the diet don't even faze me.
Yeah, you're just programmed to it.
Yeah, it's like clockwork, man.
Cool, man. That's it, man. I don't want to keep you too long. Like I said, appreciate you big time for jumping on here.
Oh, anytime, brother.
Make sure anybody watching, if you guys aren't already, which I'm sure everybody is, make sure you guys are following Guy on social media and checking him out on the bro chat with Fuad. So that is it. Good luck on your show again. Definitely appreciate you coming on here this close to the show. So I know you guys are super busy and zoned in. So
and I'll be back on again.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Big time, Guy. Thank you.
Awesome. You got it, Dean.
All right, brother. Bye-bye.
All right. Be good, bro.
Thanks.